Hello everybody, I'm finally here with the channel. I have been very busy last week, so sorry about that. I am working on the long-term review of the Explorer, as I told you in previous videos, but it's been more complicated than I expected. Actually, I just picked it up from the ID, and that will be part of the story that I have to tell you, so keep tuned because it's going to be interesting. Today I am wearing the 556i that a friend of the channel lent me to review, and we are going to talk about the Traska Summiteer 36mm, a small release of 100 units of this watch in different colors, and I think it's going to be a nice one to talk about. A year ago, we analyzed the Summiteer 38.5mm, giving some recommendations to its creators. The watch, as you probably know, is an excellent product, but with some room for improvement. Traska is a brand that listens to these criticisms, and after several conversations with them, they finally decided, a few weeks ago, to launch a limited run of this great watch in 36.5mm. We'll say 36mm to make it shorter, alright? It is true that the version 3 of this fantastic adventure watch already modified some issues that we detected at the time in version 2, such as the color of the anti-reflecting coating or the distance of the minute track to the edge of the bezel. But we always wondered if reducing the case from 38 to 36 would not be something that would greatly benefit the overall experience of the watch. We like brands that take risks with the new releases. Actually, John Mack contacted us to thank us for the reviews they made. They inspired them to make this release of this 36mm watch, and he gave us an easier way to get one of the units because there were only 100 of them, 25 of each color. Our choice of color was black, more versatile. In any case, except for being able to ensure that we were able to purchase the watch, we got no further advantage and paid full retail price as well as the import fees. We hope our review is therefore thoughtful and objective. Now, let's talk about the similarities, because there are many things we don't want to go in depth because they're basically the same thing from the versions 2 and 3. The movement remains the same with its virtues and flaws, reliable, solid, and of great quality. As a downside for some, not for us, that the rotor unidirectional sometimes makes itself heard. Material of construction. The fully articulated bracelet is the same as version 3, which already corrected the clasp that could snag in version 2. The anti-scratch coating is undoubtedly one of the main features of this watch, and as expected, it has not changed. Box and travel case. Like in previous releases, they sent an easy-to-store card box, leather, and a leather travel case that is very practical. The sapphire crystal caseback screw-down crown with 100-meter water resistance means that you can swim with it and even snorkel if you want to. You have drill lugs for easy change of straps, and the watch still has an off-white color in the hour markers and a light color, clear white on the hour hands. Same color as the minute track, logo and brand name. What's new versus version 3 of the 38mm watch? Well, what's new is essentially the size, because everything else remains the same. Like anything, it's a matter of taste. But for the purpose of the watch, the size, I think it's ideal. When you go hiking, wherever in the desert, through rocks, caves or in the forest, something that is not too heavy and does not involve too much surface contact with the skin after many kilometers or hot temperatures is appreciated. Of course, 38mm doesn't make a big difference either, but it will depend a lot on each person. But on long hikes and exposure to the media, every millimeter counts. But the bottom line is that now the watch wears more harmonious, more proportionate, more elegant, because it also wears more like a 37mm instead of 36, mainly because of the thinner bezel. Also, the mini track is perfectly visible and the undercoating does its job. The lume at night is interestingly somewhat better than the 38mm version 3, although not by much. In any case, the visible surface difference of the dial of both watches is barely noticeable in the dark, although the size is noticeable on the wrist with normal light. Somehow the 38mm has more a tool-like feel, looking more like a 39mm, while the 36mm is somewhat slimmer and sleeker. In short, the 36, which really looks more like 37mm, is more versatile and noticeable, more comfortable. As mentioned, during long walks for instance, you forget you're wearing it. At the end, it all depends on personal taste and wrist size. The difference in distance between lugs is only of 2mm, being 44 in the current 36 and 46mm in the previous 38, and any size will fit a large number of wrists. It is desirable, however, that Traska keeps both sizes in its catalog, and I hope they do so. Let's go to the pros. First, the size. The size is great and it fits a wide variety of wrist and environments, from the adventurous to the more formal. It is very resistant to whatever you throw at it. Whether it is scratches, water, the watch is ready for anything. The movement is a great movement with great precision and reliability, as you might know. And we have had a few of them. I was thinking that we had like 5, but counting it adds up to 7 watches with the same movement. The versatility, with its classic design and very slim with elegant numerals, this allows the watch to be worn in all kinds of situations, and also the more dressier ones. Another great advantage is the great support and customer service. Traska really listens to its customers. Proof of this are the changes they have agreed to make. A good customer service team is essential and increasingly important nowadays. You cannot buy any brand without having at least a decent customer support. The sector dial blends the elements very well and makes it both attractive, discreet, and balanced at the same time. At 550, and considering the features this brings, this is one of the most versatile, utilitarian, rugged, and versatile watch offerings nowadays. Also, at this size, I think it pays a better tribute to the Explorer 1016 without being a direct design copy. The size and style pay true homage to the Explorer field watches, specifically the 1016s we mentioned, without falling into the easy formula of copying the design directly. It has its own language and design elements to make it original while still being reminiscent of the Explorer in some ways. It is honest and elegant in its statement of intent and is perfectly calibrated to be a tool in the field and any other, city adventure you might think of. So, but what are the cons? Well, there is a slight color difference between the white of the hands and the hour markers, same as happens with the version 2 and 3. The hands have the same color of the mini track, the logo, and the automatic word, but I think it would be more desirable that the color was equal all across the watch. But well, that's a minor complaint, you forget about it after a while. Availability, well, perhaps this is the main drawback. It is difficult to buy the Summiteer. The limited run of 100 that got sold in 4 minutes tells a lot about this. We hope Traska will add this version to the permanent collection and make it available in a pre-sale scheme. I think they will do that, because keeping both the 38 and the 36mm would be awesome. Well, there is the brand heritage issue. This is not a flaw of the watch itself, but the establishment of a fact, Being a micro brand, there is no such brand heritage and recognition. At least for now. But hey, all brands started with no story until they built it up. What could be improved in this watch? I already mentioned the color scheme of the dial and the hour hands, but would be great to see in the future would be a bracelet with a macro adjustment. A bracelet with macro adjustment on the fly would be a big plus for the brand in general, but we understand this would increase the price notably. So, will we be selling the green Summiteer in 38mm? That's a good question. At the beginning, we thought about keeping both watches, but after a few weeks and the supremacy of the 36mm in black and the versatility, I've decided to sell the green one so that other people can enjoy that size, because they might prefer the 38mm. It's also a very fun color. And with the money we'll try to get other watches to review, or maybe getting the 36mm green one too, who knows. We hope that this size, along with the 38mm, will become part of the permanent collection, as there is very little to complain about, and that little it has is more than compensated by its virtues. If you want a resistant watch that can really accompany you in everyday adventures, and in the most exceptional ones too, without fear that damaging it would break your bank, this watch is for you. It outperforms much more expensive models, but logically with a better chance of being used in the original way for which they were intended. The Traska Summiteer in 36mm is like a dream come true. It combines the versatility of an elegant watch with the strength and endurance of a sports tough watch. It's the only thing that doesn't have maybe is the history, the cachet of well-established brands, but this is something that happens with macro brands. They will build the story, they will build the adventures, the people will make them something to relate to. And as the movie Ratatouille says, the movie from Pixar, the new needs friends, and I think that Traska has won us with this model and size. Well, thank you everybody for being here, for listening to me, and I really would love to keep making these videos. So hope to make the Explorer review soon and others that I have in the pipeline. Thank you very much and see you soon. Bye bye.